Welcome back. Now, today we're going to be talking about responsibility in the household, addressing Akia, who's my younger brother. So, what we're going to do here is start off by, we're going to list a few things that we can do in order to start building responsibility. Now, the first thing is compromising. So, if there's ever an instance when you don't want to do one of your chores in that moment, and you want me to do it, we can talk about that. All right, so if you have something that I want or that you can offer me, then I'll take that, and in exchange, I'll do your chores. Now, with that in mind, you can't use that all the time because I'm not always going to be willing to do your chores for you, even if you have things to offer me. So, another instance of compromising is with mom. You can ask her if it's okay if you do the chore later, and in exchange, you give her something that allows her to, trust you, right? Just so she knows that you won't go back on your word. For instance, you could give her your tablet temporarily, because I know you like to use it a lot, and she knows you like to use it a lot. So if you give her your tablet temporarily, and then later, after you do your chores, you get your tablet back, that shows that you are trustworthy and helps build you into having the habit of just doing your chores. Now, the best thing we're going to want to build is your initiative. All right, so you're going to want to be able to eventually just do the chores without even being asked. That way, you'll be rewarded in a whole bunch of different ways, depending on the chores you're doing and, how imperative they are. So, in order to do that, you need to start just doing the chores, obviously. That's the whole goal. But the way I can help you with that is if you do the chore before mom asks, then I can give you something as a reward, because mom will give you a reward, but I'll also give you a reward before she does. So you get 2 times the rewards. So for every chore you do that mom hasn't asked you to do yet, I can give you like chocolate, or I could give you a few dollars maybe, depending on the chore. And that will eventually build you up to just being able to do those chores without a reward, which would be great. And now I know the whole doing chores before you're asked, and just even doing chores, it isn't fun. It's not really fun for anybody. But the goal, the end game, is being able to do those chores, and if you can do them without anybody asking, you will have a great life, because you won't have to worry about anything, later. You won't have to worry about doing your chores later. You won't have to worry about doing your homework later. You won't have to put things off, and you won't have to live with that thought in your head like, oh, I have to do this later. And it'll be great because you'll just be free. So that's what we want. That's the goal. And even if that goal doesn't always seem, not really tangible, but it doesn't always seem like the best goal, there are obviously rewards on top of that. But even if it doesn't seem like the best goal, you're going to have to do it anyway. And it's a great life skill to have. It's just to do things without procrastinating. And that shows that you're responsible, and people trust responsible people. Right? They look up to them because they're just great. Everybody loves somebody who's responsible, especially adults. And in jobs, just having responsibility, that's going to be great in helping you find a job, because people love seeing responsibility. So we want to build your responsibility, and that starts here. Chores, that's your first job as a kid. And homework, that comes later, but first thing is chores. That's where we're going to start. Now, like I said, we can do compromises. Those aren't great, but they're good to help start. And initiative, we want to build that, because that's what helps with responsibility. So, like we mentioned, just doing things before people ask is great. But if they do end up asking you, it's great to, do it quickly, because that doesn't. If you don't do it quickly, they lose faith in you and they see like, wow, he's just being lazy. He's not doing it. I might as well just do it. It'll be faster. You don't want people to do your chores for you because you end up feeling bad, or people just get what you were going to get for those chores. Not always the case, but the main thing here is that you want to do your chores so that you can feel like, I completed this job. And now I can feel good about myself because I didn't have anybody else complete it. So, in order to get to the point where you can just do those chores either before you're asked to do them or right after you're asked to do them, and then you're free to do whatever you want, in order to get to that point, we have to train you. And of course, once you gain the skill in chores, you're going to be able to apply that to your homework. You're going to be able to apply that to your life. So when you have a family later on down the line, it's going to be a great skill to have, because your spouse is going to want chores done. Your kids you're gonna have kids probably, I assume, and you don't want to put all the work on your kids. You want to be able to help too. So if you're the dad that is able to do the chores, that's amazing, because then everybody's like, wow, this guy's amazing. He does the work, and everything's already done. We don't have to worry about it. That being said, you don't want to raise lazy kids, but that's another topic. So, responsibility. Going back to how everybody likes responsible people, that's going to help you, also get a spouse in the first place, because nobody wants to live with somebody who doesn't do work and isn't responsible. And as an adult, you're going to need to be responsible. So learning these skills, or this skill specifically, right now while you're growing is, what you've got to do. So I'm going to help you with that because I'm your older brother, and this is what I can do to help. Now, because we've already gone over, the things you can do, or the things I can do to help you, it all comes down in the end to you and being able to do this. So I can talk about this and you can listen, but whether or not you actually come away from this with, if you come away from this with the actual information and you retain this information and then you start to act on it, that's what we want in the end, right? Because that will help you to achieve this goal that I'm giving you and that I want you to achieve. So, I know it's going to be tough. I understand. I'm still working with it myself. And it is tough, but the reward is even better. You see, the reward is what you're shooting for. So even if it might seem tough in the moment, you got to shoot for that reward, right? Because that's the best part. It's the reward.